Now wait 1 second, Pittsburgh Steelers fan who just clicked on this video. I know the thumbnail and the name has already got you pissed off, but you should probably listen to what I have to say about this game before you go on and think that I am an absolute hater. What is going on, everybody? Jake the Bills fan here, and I am already ready for this week. It is now Wednesday, and I'm already waiting for Sunday Night Football, like a bunch of people are. There's some delusional people who think that the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be the game of this weekend's matchups. They are sadly mistaken. The Dolphins are going to get the doors blown off of them. This game between the Steelers and Bills is going to be the best game of this week. And I'm going to tell you why. You got the powerhouse offense with the respectable defense going against the powerhouse defense with the respectable offense. So naturally, they should cancel each other out. But before we even get into anything, I am going to introduce you to my friend Cole Beasley, who just had a monster game against the San Francisco 49ers when everybody told the Bills that they were going to lose, except for Booger McFarland, still seeing you out there. And Nick Wright, go fuck yourself. You are probably one of the worst sports talk show hosts imaginable. Okay, going back to Cole Beasley, he had a monster game. And if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan watching this right now, you don't want him to have a monster game, especially now with Bud Dupree out. Your linebacking core looking kind of but we're going to get into that. So let's immediately start with what is the Pittsburgh Steelers' weakness right now? One, we're just going to go what's their weakness on offense. Their run game has been absolutely horrendous. They have shown this year that they are a pass-first team, which is really odd because when you think Pittsburgh Steelers, you think, okay, Big Ben's going to get some big throws in there. He's that kind of quarterback. But they're also going to ground and pound when they have to, and then they're going to keep their defense off the field for as long as possible. Well, I don't know if you watched the Pittsburgh Steelers game this year, but they really do like to throw the ball, and for some reason, Ben Roethlisberger has turned to a quarterback that just wants to get the ball out of his hands really fast. And I don't know if that's because maybe they don't trust their offensive line to keep him, up for as long as they have in the past. Not quite sure about that, but their offense has definitely changed. Their next thing, their linebacking core is kind of shot, and that pretty much got furthered last week with Bud Dupree going out for the rest of the season. Now, the thing that I really wanted to bring up when it comes to the matchup between these is also their corners. Right now, Joe Hayden has to clear concussion protocol. At this moment right now, he did not practice today. You do have to have a full contact practice before you can clear protocol, and right now he is not even in the limited aerobic stages yet. So unless he does not clear tomorrow, there might not be a full-on path for him to play. And if he does not play, James Pierre, the number 128th ranked cornerback in the league, will be on one of our receivers. Doesn't matter who it is, they're going to have their number, Joe Hayden is their number one, but they're going to have their other corner on Diggs, probably with some help over top. And then we're going to have guys like Cole Beasley and stuff that are going to be able to work the field. So when it comes to their weaknesses, that's what I really think. And their strengths, man, their defensive line is fucking nasty this year. If you do not know, the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line has been absolutely amazing this year, and that is why they are one of the number one defense when it comes to creating pressure on the quarterback, which is something we are not going to want on Josh Allen. And then another thing, their receivers, man, their receivers have looked really good. They got a stud out of Chase Claypool, who came out of Notre Dame, who I really wanted. They've got James Washington. They also have they've got Benny Snell, who can be a receiving back. He's a running back, but he can still receive the ball out of the backfield and run. And then they also have Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, just that right there, you can see why maybe Big Ben is wanting to switch to more of a passing game and not just handing the ball off to James Conner a million times, which is why their run game has really suffered. And I think they are 29th in the league in their run game. It has been absolutely horrendous. But that is really good for the Bills, because if you go to the Bills defense, it has been absolutely awful when it comes to stopping the run, like horrendous. And that is why I think that the Steelers, for a change, even though people are saying don't expect them to change, I think they're going to try to get James Conner a little bit more involved, because Mike Tomlin, he's a hell of a coach. So he's going to be able to go out there, and when they make their game plan for this game, they are definitely going to be like, hey, maybe we should take advantage of this run defense that's not all that great. And just speaking of the defense as a whole, while the Seahawks game was a turning point for the Bills, and they have been one of the better defenses in the league since that game, and the games before it were awful and bringing our stats down and everything like that. When you look at it, they're a very respectable defense, and you know Mike Tomlin's going to see that. Any Sean McDermott defense team, they're going to bend but not break. You're never going to see our defense just get trampled to the point to where our offense is always going to have to bail them out. So really, our things that we need to do is we need to keep that run at bay, because you know they're going to have to implement some run game because of our history in stopping the run. And we also need to hold the receivers in check. I already named their names off. Hold them in check, create some pressure on Ben Roethlisberger while he's one of those quarterbacks like we know with Josh Allen, who's just going to stand in that pocket for as long as he can. He's not going to really take off on a 60-yard run on you or anything like that, but he's definitely going to stay in that pocket as long as possible before he gets pulled down. And now when we get to the Bills' offense, I think when it comes to attacking this defense, what you really need to remember is we already played this defense last year with a more inept offense. Think about that. The reason the Steelers did not win that game against us is because their offense couldn't really get it done. But their defense, the Buffalo Bills played against that defense, and while they did torture Josh Allen in that game, we were able to still put up some points, and it was one of those games where you were like, man, these two defenses are great, and both the offenses were cheeks. They were absolutely awful. So when it comes to this, though, with our new weapons that we have with Gabe Davis, John Brown is still going to be out, but we're going to have Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Isaiah McKenzie, and I don't know how much we're going to be running this game. Every single time I do a preview video, I talk about how, hey, maybe we should start implementing the run, and then Brian Dable must watch every single Bills podcast and everything like that and be like, I'm not going to do that, because you guys do not know more than me. Josh Allen's going to throw the damn ball if Josh Allen wants to throw the damn ball, and we just got to live with that. So now, what else do we got to do? I think that without running the ball, we're going to be using our running backs as blockers a lot, because this Steelers D-line is going to be getting to Josh Allen. We have a really amazing O-line, but we really need to stop and put extra guys up there at the line. You're going to see Lee Smith is probably going to be activated for this game. We're just going to have whoever we can to stop Pittsburgh and give Josh Allen as much time as possible to go back there and hopefully dissect their secondary, which is a little hit and miss, especially with some personnel might be being out. So those were the keys for the Bills to win the game. The Steelers, I'm not a Steelers YouTuber. I'm not going to tell them how to beat us. I mean, beating us should be pretty easy to diagnose. Maybe if you get your run game up, maybe you'll be able to beat us. But after last week, them losing to the Washington football team, it's looking more and more likely that this game, while everybody thinks it's going to be the slugfest and everything, I think this game is probably going to be a game that gets out of hand early, depending on what team has the better game plan, which is very simple to say and very easy to say, but it's the truth. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe to Jake the Bills Fan, because Cole Beasley back here, he had a monster week last week. I brought him here because he's a really good friend, and he's telling you to subscribe to Jake the Bills Fan, so maybe he has a monster week this week over the middle against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So again, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that bell notification too, because I have videos that come out literally on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, usually after post game, depending on how late it is. But right now the games are so late, the videos either come out the day after, or I just wait until I do my in-depth reviews. So again, if you did enjoy, make sure to hit subscribe. This is the same Bills channel with the same Bills content. I will see you guys in the next video.